Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for standing by and welcome to Visual BI's webinar. Today, we will be discussing navigating the key emerging BI and analytics trends in 2019. During the presentation, all participants will be in listen-only mode. If you have a question during the presentation, please submit it via the Q&A portion of the screen. Simply type your question into the box and click the send button. Our presenter will address the questions at the end of the presentation, time permitting. If you don't hear an answer to your question today, don't worry, we will deliver answers to you individually after the webinar. The webinar is being recorded and a link to the replay will be sent to you via email. Presenting today is Gopal Krishnamurthy. Gopal is the CEO of Visual BI Solutions, a firm he founded in 2010 to transform the field of business intelligence and analytics. I will now turn the presentation over to Gopal.
Thank you, Darby. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining a very exciting topic for 2019 to look at the emerging BI and analytics trends of 2019. It's our usual disclaimer, but since this is a very strategic topic and of varying level of content, I just wanted to restate that this is strictly a Visual BI point of view, and no purchase decision should be made on the basis of this presentation, and your customer environment and your situation could be different, and some of our findings may be altered. So we strongly recommend that you do an internal assessment as well before taking any purchase decision. We have a wide variety of topics, as a lot of our customers have been dealing with several dilemmas around, starting from data warehousing and data lake trends to why Visual BI chose to partner with Snowflake or Looker and Alteryx, and talk about SAP Analytics strategy, both on the data warehousing front and on the analytics front. And then we also want to touch on some sort of a mini BI tool comparison, because this is one of our top requested item from our customers and our prospective customers. And then I will touch on the future of BI and analytics tools and the market trends. We will be sharing this presentation and the recording, and then please do type in your questions because I'm sure because of the topic you will have a lot of questions. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce Visual BI to you. Some of you may be already familiar. This may be your first webinar. Visual BI is an organization founded to focus on BI and analytics services, solutions, trainings, and products. And because of our focused offerings, we have been an award-winning firms with partnership with SAP and Microsoft BI and analytics. But recently we added Snowflake, Looker, and Alteryx to our partnership as well, and I will be touching on why. I wanted to touch on our products because the products are over 100 customers use our Visual BI extension to extend their analytic capability in the SAP Lumira ecosystem, and we will be soon releasing our extensions with Power BI as well. ValQ, we are trying to bring self-service agile planning and simulation to the BI market. We have had it in Lumira for quite some time, and we recently released in Power BI, and it has been on a rage with thousands and thousands of customers downloading and trying ValQ, and we strongly encourage you to look at it if you are looking for a self-service planning and simulation solution. We also have VBI View, a very excellent product that supports you with digital transformation to get a broader understanding of the multiple BI tools and the analytic content that are basically spread across your departments, and how do you consolidate them, view them in a single gateway. Because of our focused offerings in BI and analytics, our has been exploding, and today we have over 200 customers across the globe, and I'm very thankful to our customers. And because of our wide range and across the spectrum of customers, we get a lot of questions from them, which is what enables us to service those customers and also learn from our customers' environment to be able to offer that kind of strategic webinar like this. So to begin the webinar, if I were the head of a BI and analytics department head, there are a lot of challenges. If we have multiple data warehouses, we have multiple BI tools. Do I upgrade or re-platform? How do I go about delivering advanced analytics to my business? But then it is an acceptance that cloud is going to be, we need to have a cloud first strategy. If so, what should be my cloud choice? How do I handle bring your own device and bring your own tool concepts? What about unstructured data? And then you have to deal with the budget. Do I want to be in CapEx or OpEx, or what about sunk cost? So you can see pretty much across all the spectrum or all the 4 quadrants, we have a challenge and dilemmas, and we are going to tackle them one by one. So let's start off with talking about data warehousing and data lake trends. So what I wanted to start off by saying, if you look at somewhere around 2007 to 2017 or 18, the 10-year span, the big data was the buzz. The data lakes, everybody was trying to set up a Hadoop cluster either in Hortonworks or Cloudera or MapR. But what happened in the last couple of years is you don't hear much about Hadoop. You can check the stock price. Hortonworks and Cloudera had to merge. In general, the big data and the Hadoop-based clusters to deliver data lakes is almost on a deathbed for a variety of reasons. One, the cloud providers like Azure, Microsoft, Azure, AWS, and GCP in general matured very fast, and they are able to provide the storage and the data science services at a much lower cost. Sometimes even I have heard 5 times less than an Hadoop-based infrastructure. The concept of in-memory was available. The Cloud Foundry, the streaming, real-time data, IoT data. So when we look at all of that, you can almost do a Google on this topic, and you will see a lot of very smart articles on this topic. Recently, as late as June 23rd, Gartner also published an excellent blog on that the future of the database management is all cloud. And I think we see this with a lot of our customers, that cloud is becoming the de facto for the data warehouses and data lake. And I don't think so any new implementation is really happening in on-premise. So on-premise is a thing of the past. And what this is happening, most of the innovation is actually happening in the cloud. And I wanted to touch on, it's incredibly cheaper to run it in cloud, and the new pricing models, especially the consumption-based pricing model, is really driving not just the innovation, a lot of the customer adoption is shifting in terms of data warehouses and data lakes to the cloud. So if the innovation is all happening in the cloud, obviously you are going to have a question. There are a lot of cloud providers. Which cloud do I go with? I'm just sharing a recent state-of-the-art survey. Obviously, you have all heard AWS is a clear market leader today, and Azure is a close second. And then Google Cloud GCP is trying to catch up. But if you notice something, you do not see SAP or Oracle or IBM, the legacy market leaders are actually not really having a major presence in the cloud infrastructure space. That brings us to if assuming cloud is the future, assuming the data warehousing and the data is what is driving the digital transformation, let's touch on the leader, the Snowflake, and why it is on fire, why a lot of customers are opting to build their cloud data warehouses with Snowflake, and why Visual BI opted to partner with them. Snowflake, as I touched on, it's an OLAP cloud data warehouse solution. It's designed, innovated, and built for the cloud. And it's extremely easy to build a data warehouse for both structured and semi-structured. and unstructured, and then able to create a lot of departmental data marts in an extremely rapid manner, and then quickly share and collaborate with other business units. The ability to scale is extremely elastic, and the speed at which you can scale is tremendous. The beauty of it is no hardware, no installation, no maintenance, and then you have pay as you go pricing. And then when you look at it, it's almost like $23 a terabyte. I mean, you can go and check it out. It's phenomenal how they have innovated the whole data warehousing, data lake in the cloud. And because of this, with no management burden, unique, almost they have this concept has at least 2 to 3 years way ahead of the time in terms of doing a cloud data warehouse. And that's why in a short span of time, they have acquired over 3,000 customers, and every customer that we run into is actively exploring Snowflake for moving a lot of their either Hadoop based infrastructure or building their cloud data warehouses, especially for a lot of their operational data. We see this a lot. And one of the things is it is designed to be an EDW. It's designed to be an EDW as a service in the cloud. One of the things that I do wanted to share with you is there was an excellent blog by John Ryan, who was 30 years in Oracle in data warehousing, who wrote an excellent blog comparing to the legacy vendors like Oracle to Snowflake. And I don't want to go one by one, but on every single enterprise parameters, from the cost to the deployment, the workload, high availability, everything, hands down, Snowflake was the winner. Now you could see pretty much across all spectrum, Snowflake is the clear winner. Why customers are moving to Snowflake. But there is one important point I wanted to stress here, which there is just absolutely no lock-in with Snowflake. Now you can run Snowflake on Azure, you can run Snowflake on AWS, and if AWS is cheaper next month, you can just seamlessly shift from Azure to AWS or vice versa, and it's going to be available in Google Cloud also very soon, which means there is no real lock-in, and that's the beauty. Suddenly you see some one of the cloud, they are literally commoditizing the cloud infrastructure. Now you don't have to take my word for it. You can almost see there is only one probably a distant contender to Snowflake. It's Google BigQuery. And you could see from a pretty survey by and even Gartner rates Snowflake as a leader in the cloud data warehouse front. And we see them a lot with a lot of our customers. That now that you have learned about cloud and Snowflake, let's talk about, we heard that SAP announced SAP Data Warehouse Cloud at Sapphire. And before I go there, I just wanted to, there are a number of our Visual BI customers or SAP customers. So I wanted to just touch on the evolution of data warehousing for SAP customers. We all, started off with BW for, BW is still alive in form of B4HANA. But if you look at it, SAP was very strong in data warehousing in an on-premise world. They had an BW offering on any database. Then they came out with HANA Enterprise as a sidecar data warehouse. Then the BW on HANA came about. Then B4HANA came about because HANA Enterprise had some of the issues, especially with extractors and some of the inventory handling, some of the unit of measure currency conversions were handled better in BW. So SAP came out with B4HANA, which had the best of BW and best of HANA. And we thought that was going to be the future, but companies like Snowflake really disturbed the data warehousing market. So SAP decided to launch an offering that is going to be offering very flexible pricing, and then in the cloud with some of the best of both BW and HANA capabilities in the cloud. The only thing is we don't know whatever I'm sharing about Data Warehouse Cloud is what we heard at Sapphire and what is available in as a marketing material. We are curious to see if HANA Data Warehouse Cloud, which I will be introducing on the next slide, has a lot of the things that you heard. It has analytics, data modeling, it has data integration, the pay-per-use pricing, which is going to be extremely important for SAP to be able to compete with Snowflake. But the thing that I really like about Data Warehouse Cloud is the extractors and the tight integration to SAP, and how much of a difference it's going to make to customer in terms of the other ability to the cost-wise ability to separate storage and consumption, which is the biggest value provided by Snowflake in overall cost management for the customer. Is SAP going to be able to compete on that front as well? It's going to be very interesting. There is one thing for a lot of our customers that is key to take is because of how Data Warehouse Cloud is architected, which I come down, it's going to be extremely business friendly to the customers with a lot of the business modeling capability, semantic modeling capability, a lot of the strengths of HANA, the HANA services like, the predictive, the geo, a lot of those are inbuilt into that. It's going to use HANA, the in-memory, the SDI, SDA, a lot of those capabilities are going to be inbuilt. But most importantly, the third-party BI tools like Power BI or Tableau, how seamlessly it can connect to Data Warehouse Cloud with no limitation. That's going to be very interesting to watch to a lot of our customers. So one of the things is, as a long-time SAP partner, we are also very curious. Today there are our customers, some are on-premise, some are on SAP Cloud Platform, and there are multiple BI tools like Business Objects and now SAP Analytics Cloud. There is a traditional licensing model today that is extremely prevalent. Now, the Data Warehouse Cloud, the future, the SAP Analytics Cloud, it's more built for the cloud, has the newer pricing model, has a lot of the latest and greatest features that customers are looking in terms of advanced analytics. It's going to be very interesting to see if SAP customers are going to give the new offerings another chance, and can SAP Analytics become leader? It's going to be a kind of a wait and watch scenario. So this one, changing topic, recently, I think probably a lot of you noticed Looker after Google bought Looker. So one of the things that we wanted to, we have been a Looker partner for the last few months, because one thing we have been watching in the market is a lot of these data lakes and data stores are being built in the cloud. Assuming you have a data lake in Azure, or you have it in Redshift, or now in Snowflake or Google BigQuery, or so the data is spread across. You have multiple data warehouse, SQL-based data warehouses at multiple places. But what business wants is they want a self-service way of able to join them, preferably in the cloud, and then easy to share with the business in a very agile self-service manner. And that's what Looker is catering into the market. Now, if you really look at it, you may be already a customer in Amazon Redshift. You have a lot of your data. Now you want to put some of your data in Google BigQuery. Looker is going to help you do an agile modeling on top of both of them and able to provide a seamless user experience to your business. That's the biggest value. And since Google was somewhat of a third in the cloud market, they thought acquiring Looker is going to convince customers that irrespective of whether their data is in Azure or at Redshift, Google can also make a play because they have something to join those data and consume for their customers. So just to give you a short summary, Looker can actually provide an agile semantic layer or a modeling layer in the cloud in a governed way for pretty much any SQL data store. So coming down, shifting gears from data warehousing to the analytics strategy and the SAP side of things, kind of wanted to summarize a little bit, and I know we have done quite a few webinars. So if you look at it, SAP has several on-premise offerings in terms of Business Object Suite. They have BPC, they have BW. They are continued to be supported, but the innovation is actually happening in SAP Analytics Cloud. And I will be touching more on Analytics Cloud as a broader topic. And they are enabled through Analytics Hub and Analytics Analysis for Office in a hybrid manner so that customers can use on-premise investments as well as starting off with cloud and then consume both the content. So there are a lot of our customers that are using business objects. Because they just hear about Analytics Cloud, they always wonder, is business objects dead or what should they do? I think yes, cloud is the future, and but we wanted to tell you at least it's going to be business objects is going to be supported at least till 2026 based on the SAP's announcement about 4.3, and what we recommend is we want to keep you this timeline in mind and plan your migration in a methodical way, not in a rushed manner. So business objects is not dead. You have another at least 8 years or possibly even longer. Just keep this in mind, because even SAP strategy is more hybrid. How can on-premise and cloud can coexist? So let's go deeper on Analytics Cloud and what it can offer to the customer. What is the future? So the Analytics Cloud is built on SAP Cloud Platform, and it is the new face of SAP Analytics. The key value items are it provides an unified experience across BI use cases, planning use cases, predictive use cases, and now application design as well, which got released recently. And there are some offerings like Digital Boardroom and good mobile experience and Analytics Hub to consume your business objects investments as well as SAC content in the same place. So this is as part of the intelligent enterprise is SAP's new phase of analytics. One of the things why Analytics Cloud is somewhat popular with a lot of our customers is it provides very good connectivity to a lot of SAP's cloud applications like Ariba, SuccessFactors, Concur, and some of those things. It provides native and excellent connectivity. Now S4, it connects very well. It connects to BW Live, both Live and Acquired and HANA. And you can see the connectivity for Analytics Cloud, especially if you are using a lot of the cloud applications in the SAP ecosystem. It's a no-brainer to use SAP Analytics Cloud, and the connectivity is constantly improving as well. Now we touched on both on-premise business objects and Analytics Cloud. If you look at, there was one key thing that was missing in Analytics Cloud. It's missing an enterprise reporting capability like Webby, but SAP has made it very clear they are going to be bringing the enterprise reporting capability inside SAP Analytics Cloud. It's not available yet. I think it is in SAP's roadmap to deliver and then also bridge a lot of the feature parity gap between on-premise and the cloud, so that SAP Analytics Cloud can be the de facto analytics offering from SAP. So what we did is there are a lot of the roadmap item we just consolidated for our customers, so it's kind of easy to see some of the things that are coming out in Q3, because it's a very rapidly evolving tool. They used to do monthly releases. Now they are doing only quarterly releases, but the tool Analytics Cloud is rapidly evolving on all fronts, from BI, planning, predictive, and app design. And we just wanted to kind of give you a summary on what's coming in the official, based on the official roadmap. We also wanted to provide some summary of what is available today and what's coming and what's nice to have. So we would like to see somewhat of a feature parity between live and acquired connection, because it's still, there are some differences, whether it's an acquired data, whether it's a live mode, and there are some component limitations. But on the whole, from a pure BI and planning and use cases, the tool has really matured very well. But we always want more. So a lot of our customers have also asked, we have a lot of legacy business objects tool set, and we need a strategy to be able to migrate them to cloud. Can we do to SAP Analytics Cloud? So I just thought I would give a quick summary of where we stand on that. So SAP Lumira Discovery was pretty much announced that all the discovery use cases were moving to Analytics Cloud. In fact, Feb 2018, so it's well over 18 months. And you can see pretty much if you are using Lumira Discovery or for pretty much self-service BI use cases, we strongly recommend that you start using Analytics Cloud, because for those use cases, Analytics Cloud is way mature than Lumira Discovery ever was. So when we do the self-service comparison, you will see Analytics Cloud has matured on those data discovery use cases pretty well. And that is our recommendation. If you are using Lumira Discovery, start planning to migrate to Analytics Cloud, because Lumira Discovery is only in support mode with no innovation. Same thing, Business Objects Explorer is going to be end of life 2020 because of Adobe Flash's death. So you can see SAC is almost there to be able to move a lot of the Explorer capability into SAC, and it is our recommended migration because it's more of a technical. We don't want you to keep using a Flash-based application like Explorer. So this is something that you have to actively plan, put it in your roadmap to move to SAC. Same thing, Excelsius has been dead for long because of Adobe Flash, but there are customers still running SAP dashboards because it's still they could do it despite the security warnings, etc. Our recommendation is you should either move to Lumira Designer or Analytics Cloud, depending on whether you have a business objects investments or not. And yes, there are some components that are not, there is no one-to-one conversion available, but these are visualization. You can always use an alternative visualization or get it from a partner like Visual BI, which has a Visual BI extension. So you have option, but our recommendation is go ahead and migrate them. Now coming to Roam BI, a lot of the Roam BI customers have been advised strategically that they are better off migrating to SAP Analytics Cloud. Now today there is a bit of confusion because there are 3 different mobile clients: SAP Business Objects Mobile, there is a Roam BI client, and there is an SAC mobile client. So this is where yes, the migration has to take place, but you may be better off waiting for maybe 3 to 6 months, only because SAC's mobile capability, especially around Android and some of the things, has to evolve a bit. So you may be better off, but it is something you are just waiting, but you have to do an eventual migration to SAC mobile. Now coming down to Lumira Designer, there are a lot of questions that is Lumira Designer going to be innovated? SAP, if you look at the official roadmap for enterprise applications, SAP, if you are an on-premise business objects customer, it is still a recommended solution. Now, obviously, a lot of the investments is still going towards Analytics Cloud, and SAP still does selected continuous improvements in Lumira Designer. So I will, when I am talking about some of the things, when you do the comparison, it will get clear. Even though app design is the future, you can see that it is still an evolving tool. So we have just given you some comparison for you to just get an idea. One of the biggest reason why you may want to not think about migrating your Lumira Designer use cases to app design is there is no real mobile client for If you want to deliver your app design applications in mobile, you just do not have a solution today. Yes, it is coming, but that is one primary reason why you cannot consider it as of today. So what we also did is we took Lumira Designer, which was originally named a Design Studio. We kind of mapped it to the timeline, and if we do an assessment of SAC app design as of today, it's probably equivalent to Design Studio 1.2. Yes, it's not a 1.0 release. Yes, it is a good first release, but still on par with 1.2. What we feel is by the time we reach the end of this year, SAC will be probably on par with Design Studio 1.6, maybe by end of next year. So it is not going to take SAP 7 years to deliver the capability that Lumira is doing, but it is still going to take them another 18 months to get on par with what Lumira can do for you today. So because Lumira is fairly a mature enterprise applications solution tool. So our recommendation is, if you are an existing business objects customer, you probably can punt, go switching over to SAC app design until 2020. You will be better off. Otherwise, you will be facing with some of the functional limitations. So this is another very interesting topic. We wanted to do a self-service BI comparison as of let's say even last week. I apologize for Qlik, Spotfire, and other prominent BI tools. Just because of, to be fair, we took the top 1 and 2, Power BI and Tableau, and since a lot of our customers are SAP, that was the basis. We didn't want to do in this webinar, we didn't want to do, we probably will do a more exhaustive in another webinar where we may compare multiple tools. So let's talk about, self-service BI is the future. We touched on how are the tools going to be evaluated. Let's set a baseline. So, when it comes to data, what is the data acquisition capability? How can I prepare the data? How can I visualize? How can I explore? What are some of the advanced analytics, which is becoming mainstream nowadays? You will see a lot with embedded BI, augmented BI, smart insights, NLP. So you can see those are what is becoming mainstream on which a tool is evaluated, and then the ability to share and collaborate with your other business users. One of the things is an important slide here in the context to prior comparisons is because there are storyboards. Power BI calls them a report, but a storyboard is something very simple. You take a data source and then quickly whip up a self-service storyboard, maybe 3 or 4 charts, and quickly build it within less than a couple of hours, and then quickly share with your business among yourself. Agile visualization, agile data query. Since it's done mostly in a self-service manner in a business, you have that. And then you have formatted reporting, which it can take sometime even few hours to few days. You can do it with maybe more like a power user building a report. And then you have some dashboards which are moderate in complexity, but then you have things like applications where you are almost combining your multiple storyboards and dashboards into a single with a workflow built in, drill down, drill up, with a complex navigation or a customized navigation, but usually it is built by IT. So you have 4 different content type that gets asked by your business users. One thing, if you look at it, when we look at it, Analytics Cloud is trying to cover all these 4 content types. You can see once they release the reporting, they will have all the 4 content types able to deliver. Now, one thing important to note, Power BI is already there since they made the Power BI paginated reports. They recently announced Power BI apps as well. So you can see how the competition is shifting from being data discoveries and stories and simple dashboards, how ability to provide multiple contents is becoming a deciding factor. One of the things that I made a small tweak compared to our presentations is what is happening is, we always know 80% of your users are mere consumers of your analytics. They don't go spend time creating reports or manipulating data. But then you have 20% that are your data analysts, your report analysts, your FP&A. They deal a lot with planning and planning applications and complex reports. And then usually they are your power users as well. And then you have your data scientists that do advanced analytics. So this is your spectrum of self-service BI seekers. They predominantly decide on the tool. Even though they are only 20% of the audience, they wield a lot of power because they are the ones creating the content, preparing the data. So this one, we added planning because planning is becoming more and more important as they seek automated, augmented machine learning and insights, because you need those budgets and forecasts integrated with your actuals to be able to do smart forecasts. So that's why now slowly planning is also seen in conjunction with BI. So I talked about how Power BI is able to do a lot of this already with paginated reports and Power BI apps and Power BI, but Power BI does not have a planning component today, and we are trying to offer that as a custom visual insight value into Power BI to fill that gap. But if you look at Analytics Cloud, it has BI, planning, predictive, and once enterprise reporting comes by the end of the year, both Analytics Cloud and Power BI would be only the two tools that can provide all the 5 use cases. So let's start with the introduction, and Tableau is actually the most mature one because it's there from 2003. They have a Tableau desktop, Tableau server, Tableau online. Power BI is somewhat of a 2014, but they innovated first in the cloud, and they came with Power BI service and through an Office 365 bundled offering. Even though it's like less than 5 years old, they have been a Gartner leader for the last 3 years, which is remarkable. 3 years into the market, they moved to the leadership position. And Analytics Cloud is something came only in 2016, but it is rapidly, and we are going to see it in the assessment where they stand. Analytics Cloud is a cloud-only solution. There is no real desktop companion, unlike Tableau desktop or a Power BI desktop. I'm not going to get into the pricing, but one thing that I will tell you is that SAP's Analytics Cloud, even though it says BI, it does include application design as well for that pricing. And you have to look at it in conjunction with Power BI Pro, even though it's $10 a month. A lot of times, if you have 100, 200, or 300 users in your tenant, you may want to include a premium offering from Power BI, which is another $5,000 a month. So you have to look at it at what point Power BI costs are in comparison to Analytics Cloud. Same thing, Tableau has one of the problems have been with Tableau's pricing, but they have adopted and they have also tweaked their pricing maybe in the last 6 months. But something to watch out for is, they have a separate creator offering, which I will touch on. Like, you almost have to buy a Tableau prep and a Tableau conductor license. Then you have your creator license. It's a little bit, it's a multiple different pricing tier, something to pay an attention. In terms of what we want to do is we want to compare them across various spectrums. So we're going to start off with doing the data connectivity, and you can pretty much see SAP Analytics Cloud provides the robust SAP connectivity, but then once you go to a neutral field, Tableau and Power BI are more mature, and that is something to watch out for. And we touched on Snowflake. Both Power BI and Tableau can connect to Snowflake. Anaplan is a planning solution in the cloud, and you can see Tableau connects very well. Now Power BI can only connect to a third-party connector. Analytics Cloud does not connect because Analytics Cloud itself has a planning offer. You can see this is where once you go into a third-party databases and third-party, some of the connectivity will tilt towards Tableau and Power BI, whereas Analytics Cloud is very strong to SAP sources. Let's talk about modeling data. So customers want to be able to do self-service data prep, self-service data modeling inside the BI tool. And this is one area that has really taken the self-service to another level. And if you really look at it, this is one area where Analytics Cloud is maturing. It's coming there, but I think this is one area where they are trying to catch up to the leaders like Power BI and Tableau. And with the data lineage offering recently in Power BI has gone ahead of Tableau in this particular segment as well. When we look at the visualization, there are no real thing because most of the vendors have pretty much all of the common chart types, or you can go to a third-party vendors like Visual BI or somebody else to bring in into Power BI. So it's not really a fair comparison to say one tool is better over the other on charts or for that matter maps as well. But we have just given you, if you are looking for a specific one, which tool has it. I think this is a very important slide. We just condensed it. So if you do a comparison, Power BI is the one that is providing you capability to do storyboards, dashboards, formatted reports, maybe even templates through Power BI apps and template apps. They are there. It's fully. The only thing it is missing is an IBCS, native IBCS charts. But obviously there are third-party vendors that are selling IBCS charts for Power BI, but you can see Power BI is just getting ahead. But once Analytics Cloud releases their SDK for chart extension by the end of this year, and then the formatted reporting, it is going to tilt a little bit in favor of Analytics Cloud because they are going to be green across the board. So we just have to see if Tableau can deliver formatted reporting capability and a much robust. Yes, they have an SDK, but it is not. It has to mature more for more commercial extensions to blossom in the Tableau space. Coming down to the sharing and collaboration, obviously, because of Office 365 and the Microsoft ecosystem, Power BI is a clear leader here in terms of ability to chat, collaborate, comment, and the local desktop Power BI desktop file, the export to PDF, export to PowerPoint. It's pretty comprehensive there. When it comes to enterprise capabilities also, we have identified and with the announcement of certified data sets in Power BI, it's just going further ahead. Just in terms of data governance, with the certified data sets, and since SAP Analytics Cloud fundamentally promotes live connectivity to live BW, live HANA, hybrid connectivity, SAP Analytics Cloud and Power BI are more on the data governance side, whereas Tableau still heavily relies. If you talk to most users, they like to acquire, create Tableau extracts. It makes it somewhat suspect on data governance, even though they have single sign-on, a lot of the enterprise governance capability. Just most of the users, when they think of Tableau, let's just go acquire the data, let's mash it up quickly. So it's just, we want to warn you there on the data governance there. Power BI is a clear runaway leader when it comes to mobile. The user experience on desktop and mobile is extremely superior with Power BI, and Analytics Cloud is lagging, and Tableau is a second here. Same thing on advanced analytics with some of the AI components recently and some of the capabilities on R visual and integration. Power BI is slowly nudging ahead, but Analytics Clouds, because the predictive is part of the Power BI offering, Analytics Cloud is actually, if you look at it from an augmented BI and some of the capability, Analytics Cloud is not that far behind of Power BI, but a little bit better than even Tableau. Again, on the same token, advanced analytics. So what we wanted to do is just share some of the USPs and the strength just for your own reading. I'm just going to jump to the final kind of a scoreboard. We just feel Power BI has gotten ahead on all fronts, and you could see that with their monthly releases and all that, it's extremely impressive how they have been able to churn out. And Tableau is still holding some of the leadership in the connectivity and preparation. And if you look at it, Analytics Cloud, it's not too far behind. It's in fact, it's in some areas it is ahead of Tableau, but you can see it's not too far behind on some of the areas as well. This brings us to the last introduction, why Visual BI chose to partner with Alteryx. And what we saw was a lot of our customers were spending most of their time, 80% of the time on BI projects were going on data preparation, data blending, and trying to, and when we want to quickly do this, not in a traditional big data warehouse project, but you want to do projects in like a 4 weeks time frame, 8 weeks time frame, and deliver a scenario, a tool like Alteryx, extremely useful in a self-service manner to be able to do data prep and data wrangling, data blending, and able to provide some of the advanced analytics capability, and then publish that very quickly. So it's extremely easy interface to build analytics workflow with Alteryx, and then maybe put a BI tool like Tableau or Qlik or even Power BI on top, and then consuming it. So you will see a high percentage of the Tableau customers using Alteryx as their data preparation tool, even though Tableau has data prep. So the reason is Alteryx is much more advanced with much more data sources. Tableau prep writes output format is as a Tableau data extract. It's not in a generic format like in an Alteryx. Advanced analytics capabilities, and a lot of these advanced, we have given you a little comparison. Yes, Tableau prep is good for some basic prep, but for more enterprise class, reusable manner, ETL workflows, Alteryx is just way ahead. And that's why you would see in a lot of self-service BI use cases, Alteryx is being used heavily, and we have had tremendous success with using Alteryx as a self-service data preparation tool to deliver a lot of our projects in an agile manner. And we have been recommending to a lot of our customers as well. And coming to the last, let's look at the future, but let's just look at what is happening in the M&A front. You probably have seen a lot of merger news lately. You know, in February, Qlik acquired Attunity to improve their on the data side of the equation and the ability to do the data prep, data ETL side of the stuff. The TIBCO Spotfire acquired Snappy Data, then Alteryx acquired Clear Story Data, Sisense did Periscope, and then you have, but the big ones are Google acquiring Looker, and then Salesforce acquiring Tableau, and we will touch on that in detail. And I don't know where Amazon is, and if they don't acquire anybody in the next 6 months, we have to assume that Amazon doesn't want to be a player in the analytics space, because Power BI is just simply running away with it. And you can see SAP, Oracle, and IBM, they are trying to compete on their own by coming up with the new, even Oracle came out with their Analytics Cloud, relaunching their analytics offering, I think as late as last week. And you can see the legacy vendors like SAP, Oracle, and IBM, they are competing differently to Power BI versus Google, Salesforce, and Amazon. They're trying to quickly ramp up their analytics capability to be, because everybody is chasing Power BI. That's the bottom line. Now, why would Salesforce buy Tableau? Salesforce is a clear leader in the customer portfolio, or the customer 360. They have phenomenal offerings in the cloud with sales, service, marketing, e-commerce, just runaway leader. But their analytics was not that great. They obviously they had Einstein, but it was not a clear leader. So what they did was they made a strategic purchase in acquiring Tableau, so that they can provide a lot of analytics to the Salesforce customers and make it very unified view of the customer's data. I'm not going to comment if Salesforce overpaid it, but they just smartly used their stocks. They didn't pay the cash. So, and then they get access to a lot of the Seattle talent, the Microsoft Dynamics talent and Power BI talent by having access to, being in Tableau office. That's the easiest way. It's a talent market, and talent is what makes a difference. And that's another strategy of Salesforce, but it's just my guess. So what can customers expect? That's obviously a lot of people's mind. One thing for sure is I think there's going to be a tight integration of Tableau visualization with Salesforce data. And the other thing is, as they integrate their sales and general administrative budgets, obviously, I'm sure Tableau might have more R&D budget, because Tableau was relying heavily on their Salesforce to sell the value of Tableau to maintain their leadership. Now, maybe they can use the Salesforce Salesforce and then focus more on R&D. That's one thing. Then will Tableau lower pricing, better pricing? Because today Tableau is seen as a premium offering, higher priced. Maybe they have to lower the pricing to gain market share once again. But if you ask us, if you are a Salesforce and a Tableau customer, you are sitting pretty. If you are a Salesforce customer, not a Tableau customer, you are still sitting pretty. You are in a good spot. But if you are a Tableau only customer, you might have to wonder if Tableau as a native, because a lot of their effort is going to be going towards merger integration. Tableau as a standalone BI tool, will it continue to remain and innovative on a standalone offering? We don't know yet. So one of the things is, we try to guess. You can see there were times Qlik was leading, then Spotfire was leading, and then Tableau was leading, and then Power BI took over somewhere around 2017. But if you really look at the crystal ball in 2025, if we look at the strategies, it's about providing an integrated user experience when it comes to data. Your BI data, your budget and forecast data in form of planning, your AI on top of it, NLP on top of it, and a lot of self-serve applications on top of it. But if you look at on the left, it's not about self-service anymore. It's not about business self-service. People were happy if they could do something in a day or hours. People were happy. I think it's almost the world of impatience. You can see people are expecting instant results. That's where machine learning and smart data discovery is going to be the future. But to be able to do smart data discovery, you need to have your data in one single place to be able to seamlessly offer smart insights and valuable automated augmented insights. So it's going to be a guess, but I'm sure Microsoft, Salesforce, Google, I don't know about Amazon, it's these big platform players are going to be the clear contenders. And SAP, Oracle, and IBM, they are also trying to provide an integrated analytics experience in the cloud. And I would say, if I have to make a guess, it's going to be one of the 7. That's just my take on it. And coming down, and I just wanted to, before I start opening up the Q&A, we do have, we are trying to do, 1 to 2 webinars every month to provide value to our customers and prospects, to keep them educated on the marketing. And a lot of our customers have been asking about, wanting to know more about ValQ. We will be talking more about how can you acquire data and transform them. We have a webinar on July 10th. So that concludes the webinar, and I'm going to be opening up the Q&A. We have few questions. Oh, there is a question on comparison on ClickSense. That was the only question I had. We will be doing another webinar where we have a much broader range of the tools shown. And so I wanted to thank you all for joining us for this webinar, and thanks again.